Hello, this is Justin from the Dada project, and today we're going to look at the Dada project called Tracker. Tracker allows you to check out information about your mass mailing, let's say campaigns. It allows you to look at things like how many people have clicked through to your links, how many people have opened them, how many bounces that happened once you sent them, how many subscribers you had when you sent them, things like that. So let's get started. We're going to enable the plugin and have it show up in our control panel. It's pretty easy. It's one of the easier plugins to install. I'm going to go into my FTP program. I'm at my home directory. I need to go to my Dada directory. So my Dada directory is in my CGI-bin. My CGI-bin is my public HTML directory. It might be different for you. So I'm going to go into my public HTML directory, into my CGI-bin, and into my Dada directory. And inside my Dada directory is another directory called plugins. Inside this is a whole bunch of files. I want one called tracker.cgi, and it seems right there. I'm going to just bring up the information, and I want to change the permissions to 755. So let's do that right now. Great. Now the plugin is enabled. I'm going to go way back to my home directory. I'm going to find my .dada files directory. Inside that directory is a whole bunch of directories. I want one called configs. Inside that directory should be a file called .dada config. I'm going to double click that to open it up into my favorite text editor. And I'm going to look for a variable called admin menu. Boom, there it is. And a couple lines above that is a cut tag. And then right before that is a comment that says start cut for this control pane menu. I want to get rid of both of those lines. At the very end of the file here is another cut tag. And another comment says end cut for this control panel menu. So I want to get rid of both of those. Great. That'll enable the variable in my .config file, and I can make changes within the variable, which is cool. So I'm going to search for another little string called tracker, capital T. It should zoom right to the entry I need to uncomment. To uncomment this entry in the admin menu, you just have to take off these hash strings. So I'm going to do that right now. Sorry. Great. Now the tracker plugin should be shown up into my list control panel of my Dada mail. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back to my list control panel of Dada mail. And this is my menu, my left-hand side menu. I'm going to just refresh the screen. And hopefully underneath the plugins label should be a new label called Tracker. So let's check it out. Yep, there it is. And when you weren't looking, I also installed the bounce handler. Okay, so let's click on the Tracker plugin, see what it says. Since I haven't actually sent anything, it's got nothing to tell me. So well, let's go ahead and send something to myself. Right now I have one subscriber. It's myself. And I'm going to send myself a very simple message. It says, hey, check out this fancy new site. And I'm going to give myself like Google or something. So I'm going to write just, let's see, I'm just going to write http://google.com. Have you ever heard of it? Because I've been living underneath a rock. And instead of just the URL, I'm actually going to wrap this URL in a redirect tag. Redirect tag looks like this. It's very interesting. So you want to use a less than sign, a question mark, and then write data, and then a space, write redirect, give it a space, write URL, equal sign, a double quote, and then place that URL in there, another double quote, and then a space, and then a question mark, and the greater sign. That is a redirect tag, and we'll see how cool it is. So there is my message, and let's send it over. I am sure. And let's see, check my message. Let's see, big money, big money. I don't know. Oh my gosh, a new message. All right, here it is. This is, hey, check out this fancy new site. It gives me a link. Let's see. Let's click the link. Oh, it brought me to Google. Okay, well, let's see what that does. Let's see, Dada mail. Oh, cool. Anyways, so if I go back to my list control panel and I go to the tracker plugin, we can see if it gives me anything. Oh, great. It has one entry for the message I just sent, and it says there was one subscriber and one click-through, and that was the click-through I did, and it's kind of cool. This all works in real time, so if I click that tracker link again, guess what? And refresh the tracker, it'll say that I have 2 click-throughs. There it goes. And that's how click-throughs work with Dada mail on the tracker. Now, what's kind of cool is if you have a really complicated message and you don't want to craft, say, 20 separate redirect links because there's a good chance you'll muck up at least one of them. The tracker does have a click-through track all message link, so you don't have to do actually anything at all. All the links will be tracked. And what's really cool is, let's see, let's play around. Let's go to the options and let's see if I have the FCK editor. Oh, I do. Great. Oh, let's see if I can fix that. I do believe I have the FCK editor. Yeah, I do. Okay, let's enable that. So I'm going to do a very fast edit. And if you didn't read you didn't watch the screencast on how to enable the FCK editor, that's how you enable the FCK editor. Great. Looks like it's enabled. So if I go to send a list message, I can now make a fancy HTML message with my built-in web browser FCK editor, WYSIWYG editor. So let's see, let's do the same kind of message with ridiculous amounts of superfluous formatting. Let's make this, I want it red. Yeah, great. And we'll go Google again. So in FCK editor, they've got a little linky-doo. I'll think. Yes, it does. Link it. All right. Let's link to let's do Yahoo just to see what's going on. And let's change the text to woo. Okay, great. No need to make that redirect tag. Let's send that out. Cool. And in just a second, we'll check our messages. Okay, let's check it out. I have a new message. Hey, it says, hey, check this message out, and then a link to Yahoo. Click that, and that brings me to yahoo.com, which is cool. And let's close that. And I'll go back to my tracker. And as you can see, there's now 2 messages that it's tracking. And it starts to make a little, wow, that's so cool looking. Start to make a little graph, which is kind of cool. So, oh, you know what? Since it was an HTML message, the tracker, wow, this thing does so many things I forget. The tracker actually tracks how many times the message is open. So this blue line says how many messages are open, which means the first message there was 0, the second message there was 1. The reason why there was 0 on the first message, it was a plain text message. So you can't track opens with plain text messages. The green line is how many subscribers there are, that's been constant, and the light blue line is how many click-throughs, which is kind of cool. All this is in real time, so if I click that link again, yep, go to Yahoo, go to my tracker, that graph will change. Look at that. It's way up there, 2 for each one, kind of cool. And quickly, let's see if we can't. Let's see, what else do I want to do for you? Well, let's do this. Let's do another screencast. Next screencast, I'll show you how the tracker works with bounced messages. We'll subscribe a couple of messages or email addresses that we know will bounce, and we'll see what the tracker does with that.